Oh, stretch. Stretch. God. Mm. It's gonna be a long, long night. Well, I have chosen death for my sanity. Okay. Oh. Next up. I always seem to miss when people come in and out, so I might try and see if I can circumvent that entirely. Just by going over... No. Yeah. Okay. Nope. That's wrong. Incorrect. Maybe there? Oh, there we go. That's probably good. And now it's in my peripheral vision, meaning I shouldn't miss anything. Except my sanity. Ugh. I'm feeling like... Final Fantasy. Oof. Final Fantasy 15 is still the best one. But I don't really have much of a strong opinion. Purely because I actually haven't played any of the other Final Fantasies. I've only played 15. I really should play more of them. Oh. That's on me. Forgot to turn on the actual display tablet. Calibration, you would never need to be calibrated at the moment. Pretty good, honestly. Oof. Oh. And I'm changing this to... There you go. There we go. I keep it different for specifically stream just so it's easier to find what you've got. I'm gonna jump right into it just cause I'm feeling like it. There we go. That's zoomed in enough for me to not worry. Just gotta do the many things. Oh, wonder what I'll do tonight. Ripped from this point? No, ripped from this point down to this point. Over here. There. Thinking out loud. Wait. I think it's actually over there. It is the first thing I'm doing of the night. It's gonna be a little scuffed. And there. Then I'm gonna go jump into Grays, I believe. You shouldn't actually use a linear set of Grays when you're doing it. Oh yeah, that's right. My plan was actually different today. We'll do this and then we'll do what I was actually planning on doing. Just because my plan was slightly altered. What I was planning on doing was making spheres of different color palettes and using those instead of going directly off what you see in a reference. But I guess I'm not doing that right now. Down, up, and then there. And then there's a much darker color over. It goes under, folds in. It is a crushed can after all. Then it goes up, under, and then back in a bit. If this is that color, then this is more of a base color, which goes over there. I think it would go like that. I'm honestly not feeling the music whatsoever. But that also might be just because I'm like overheating desperately. I really should actually go get some water in a sec. Ba-da-da-da. Alright. I think that's too good. Okay, I am really not feeling this, but that's better. More chill. More chill for me at least. Might not be the best. God, Legend of Zelda has some fucking fantastic music. Like, it's just always exactly the best that you've got. Like, listen to that. It's wonderful. I'm being real messy with everything because I just want to be quick. I end up a lot of the time when I'm doing art, I just overthink it when I'm doing it, and it ends up suffering for it. That would be there. That's better. And then that's not really. I haven't even. Not really that color, but it is darker. It's kind of this crushed bit. In, out. I shouldn't do it in that order. I should do it in light, dark, dark, lighter to darker. As it's easier to read overall. This is incredibly messy. Like, stupidly so. Big. And it would be there. And go back to this, which is I wonder if sticking to two colors will make it easier initially, at the very least, when I'm just learning to work with overall everything. And God, that's a lot of everything. And over, under, and then we go up. I think. Wait. It's been a long time since I played a Legend of Zelda game. I absolutely fucking missed the and then it dark up. See, like, you can get almost all of the shape and form you need with just like two colors entirely. What was I doing down there? Oh yeah, this mess. And what? Kinda like that. You know what I really, I'm just, chatting because I feel like it. And what I really want to talk about at the moment, for no real reason, is Nier Automata. Just because it's such a weirdly interesting game in my opinion. Because the entire game, back to front, constantly makes one thing clear. Well, from its point of view at least. And that is that nothing matters. And then at the very end of the game, it makes the bold assertion that you should actually ignore everything you've just heard. And that things indeed do matter, that you should care. And that's incredibly strange, at least for a Yoko Taro game as well. Because these previous games, that being Drakengard and Nier Replicant, I'm not too sure if he had worked on. What's it called? What's the word coming to me? Drakengard 3. I don't think he was involved in that game. Just sharpen everything. Spears, everyone gets kind of wrong with how sharp it's supposed to be. Okay. Size-wise, not great, but what was I saying? Yes, Yoko Taro. He's spends the entire game, like the very first words that comes out of 2B's mouth is literally, I always wonder if there's a god, and if there is, if I can go kill the bastard. Like, there's not much subtlety in that game. Oh. But I don't want to work with such. What if? Yes, that's right. What I actually want to do. I'm gonna work with a red. red, darker red. That should be good. And even darker red. I think those are good for my three colors. And we'll throw a violet in there. You'll see in a sec why I'm doing this. And I want a slightly brighter pink. Okay, those are three colors I'm working with. Let's say point of in. We're in Yoko Taro. Yes, Yoko Taro. See, oh, he spends the entire game, everything about it, every moment of it is spent basically trying to reinforce this idea that nothing at all matters, that you should not care, that you should not wonder, you should not, that it's all absolutely pointless. And then at the very end of the game, for seemingly no reason, he makes the bold assertion, no, you should ignore everything. You should listen to your gut and be like, no, it actually does matter. And I just fucking love that so much. It's such a great way, in my opinion, to end a game of like, no, everything I've told you up until this point in this world, yeah, it might not matter, but like, that doesn't mean you shouldn't care at all. Wow, this is a weirdly effective way of rendering. And I want the violets. No, not exactly what I'm aiming to do. Then then darker. Lighter. This is a very strange method, but I saw an artist a while back who did something very similar in adding noise. My mind's more scattered than his was, or theirs. I actually, obviously, I have no idea what gender anyone is on the internet. Just it generally. Actually, no, I would not say that it generally is men in my experience, weirdly enough. But I might be experiencing a weird part of the internet. I don't mind that. So, in not minding that, we're gonna make a we're gonna choose a fun subject. We'll use is everything? Yeah, these are all my reds. And then, what about... Yes, your guitar. Sorry. I get distracted a little, slightly. But, he spends the entire game, every moment of it, all the weapon dialogue, weapon poems, go over this core idea that nothing matters, nothing you ever do will matter, which, statistically speaking, yeah, kind of, the chances are that you do something that matters in the sense of a wider world is very, 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 very small. But I disagree with nothing ever mattering. You have a lot of effect on personal lives that people kind of forget. And yet, at the very end of the game, he's like, no, you should listen to your fucking gut. That things indeed do fucking matter. That you should care. And I just like that. I don't know why, but this one's turned out quite well. Darker would be you. Yep. And then what? Wow, this has worked out very, very well. Look at my flesh pillow. You're wonderful. He's my boy. He's my son. Yeah, that's fine. Just want to try and keep that form there, which could sometimes be hard. Sometimes a line is just as effective as any shape. Or maybe it isn't. Just speak with authority. Generally that works. And then what? And like that. Then not that one. This one? Yeah, linear change of color is actually not the most effective way to, what's it called? To show change. It's generally just better to jump a couple values from what I've read, which is always something you should. I want, because it comes out in, out, in, kind of like a rib cage, creating different connections in the brain and forming under. Look at my flesh pillow. Look at my boy. I think I'm seeing if color, because the thing about this is I'm just using one color, but I'm not supposed to just be using, well, I'm not using one color. I'm using, actually no, I am using one color and then I'm using a variation. I'm technically using 7 colors, I think. Yeah, I think I'm using 7 colors, give or take. Hmm. It can be used, but it just doesn't work when there isn't more everything going through it. Next up, whatever I choose. Let's see. What are we feeling like? What's popping up? That's a terrible idea. I'm not touching that. I'm just looking through interest at the moment. Oh. That should be good. Sorry, I didn't realize music probably wasn't coming through. We're listening to The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Is that a different... Not feeling like MF Doom. Ghost in the Shell? No. I want to continue doing something fun. Do you have anything for me, YouTube? Any suggestions? Any suggestions that I'm willing to choose? No? No, you're not feeling like it? God. Nope. You're not giving me anything. Okay. Let's just... Huh. What to choose? Any of these? I'm really not feeling anything. How many of these got like a banger soundtracks? Nope. Nope. No. Halo does have a banger soundtrack. Halo has actually quite a banger soundtrack. What about Pyre? I haven't heard Pyre's soundtrack in ages. I never actually went around to find it. Yes, I do. I can live with this. I can live with this. They're calling it peak. They're calling it fantastic even. What? No. Okay, I'll do it for the shits and giggles. But I don't expect anything good to come out of it. Yeah, we'll just use this. And shoulders there. I'm not too sure what artist I'm looking at right now. Or I would just put the specific reference on the screen. What is that? I don't think they know what that was. No, I have no idea. It's not a tail. I don't know. I think they're in a cave, actually. Maybe. Well rendered, I have no fucking idea what they've rendered. And... Oh yeah, also, news. I cannot render the other way at all. It's so painful for me. Of doing like flat colors like this. My brain hates it. I'm much easier with this. So I'm not too sure if that's a failing of me or if it's more of a preference thing. Up, down, down, right. That's horns. There you go. Under face is. I think that's everything. Trying to keep track of everything on such a piece when you're copying it's actually a real pain. Let's see. That goes down. Oh, that's more like that. No, she doesn't have a tail. Okay. Is that the lightest? This one's the lightest. One. Yeah. It's just about getting as much form as it is about doing it properly. Oh god, this one's... Though my rule of thumb is generally one hard, one easy, one hard, one easy. Just because I think that's a more fun way of doing study. If you just do easy things, it just gets boring. That's under... Under... And then this is layered like so. You can see, I'm gonna just put a bit more on that. That's, and then there's a shoulder piece here. We're gonna stay away from the face for the time being, because that's a lot of work. And I'm not willing to put that work in just yet. I need to, but it's just not right now. And there's a shadow in there. That's like so. It actually goes under. And this goes there. My spacing was a little off, that's all. Nothing a bit of hodgepodge solution won't fix. You know, games are such a fun medium. But I always feel like they're used so ineffectively. Like, there's very few games that use the medium effectively and in an interesting way even. I believe this is like this. And then I'll just like so. Okay. Again, not touching that color right now. Next up is you. Yeah. Sometimes it's taken actually a lot of focus to see what I'm doing here. Yes, that's good. And then like so. Like so. Put in the base color first. Like, I'm still using the base color method, just not in the same way as I was before. That way was ineffective for my brain at the very least. And this one seemed to be working for me a bit better. And I've got a little form lines there. Oh no. Because there's that muscle there. I always forget about that muscle, it's fine. Line there. And then well, yeah, technically, yeah. Oh, that's why that's like that. I was wondering why that looks so strange. It's because it's technically pants. And what's in out. I'm gonna have to darken that bit a little later. I'm glad they so clearly laid it out on this. It makes it actually very nice. That's... And then like that. I need something lighter than that. That's... Then... Look at that. God, fucking... That is... God, this person is fucking good at this, aren't they? I'm using... They're very... Because sometimes I use a reference, you know? And, like... You don't realize till halfway through that the reference you're using, the person actually fucked up. And you're like, oh crap. What am I supposed to do? Because they've actually fucked up. And then you're just gonna cry a little. Most artists don't realize. You learn to be like, okay, it's good enough. Triangle. There's a very light piece, but it's not like it's... Okay, back to using the proper colors I'm supposed to. they've got a lot of form here, and I'm just gonna generalize it because I'm not actually needing to. The purpose of this is not the what's it called? 1-to-1. It's a practice. It's learning how to render. I don't need to overcomplicate an already difficult task. Okay. And and then what am I looking at here? Oh yes, a much darker piece. I'm sort of not touching that at the moment. That's there. I need like that. Yep, and I'll do it twice and then thrice. Like that. There we go. Oh, I see. This is like that because it's actually attached to this bit of the. Okay, and I need something lighter but not so light. Down like so, give or take. I think we're getting somewhere. No, that's actually something lighter. And that's a bit of white is fine to brighten it up, especially in bits where it's supposed to be much brighter than it is currently. Generally, you're supposed to do white spots at the very end, but I think it should also be fine when you're yeah. What's the word? That should be good for this bit. Down and about. God, you know what? I don't think I ever finished. What's the word? Blah. And that's just there. I don't know if this isn't looking any good. It's sometimes hard to see. Okay, now I'm gonna touch what I really didn't want to. Okay. Off to a good start. That's not even sarcasm, that's legitimately off to a good start. Nerve-wracking, isn't it? Okay. I think I need it slightly darker. Better? Then... Okay. This is where things get really difficult. Hair is a bitch at the best of times. And I'm not feeling the best of times at the moment. Yes. We're gonna need naturally much darker. Yeah, we're gonna need 3 coats. Just framing it a bit. As I said, you can... Generally, you want to have your... Tangential's a bitch. Oh, no. I need a much lighter okay. Take a break from the hair for a sec. God. Oh. Oh. The more I look at it, it's not the worst, and it's certainly an improvement over what I've been doing. Okay, back to it. That was a very short break. Can't help myself. That's good. It's... God, I really do need to play through the rest of Pyre. I did like 1 cycle and was like, wow, what a great game. I'm gonna put this down for a bit because it's one of those games that I think is gonna like really stick with me. And sadly, I never got back to it because I'm terrible at these things. It should just go up to there. There's... Yeah. There we go. I want a kind of smoother transition for this one. Because it's much less detailed, which I think is purposeful. I think it's just trying to inform the shape of it. Okay. Then down. Like, even when I played the game, I was like, God, I'm just sticking in this room purely for the music at this point. Then... Oh, okay, they've made it so it goes up there. I just need a... And then we're going through. But I'm rambling a lot today. That's not the worst thing. There are worse things to do, especially considering I'm technically streaming. But no one ever joins me. And I love chat. Though chats probably distract me too much. Well, that's a much more muted one. I don't think I wanted that, but we've committed, I think. And... oh! Hasn't turned out terribly. That's much higher. Okay. I don't entirely hate it, which is not always the case. Obviously, this bit is the best just because it's a very simple render. I think the arms turned out alright, but it's not as readable as theirs. But that's because I didn't really think about the shape so much. I was just thinking about the rendering. Like, if I was paying more attention to the shape itself, I would have been like, this is a piece of gear that goes over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under. And being thinking about that. And then the arm goes under. This is obviously a piece of jacket that goes under here. There's this bit of gear that goes right here, but I'll just put a square there. This back bit confuses me a bit, but the shirts goes here, 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 roughly. Actually, it's more like that. And then it goes in. Again, I'm not too sure about this back bit. I'm pretty sure it's one of those flippy bits that they have a lot in anime. I'm not too familiar with what the actual clothing would be. I think maybe it's something that connects to this piece of armor. And then there's a shoulder pad here, which I've actually have shown a bit. And obviously there's under boob, under leg. There is pants, but they have not really done much with the pants. Like, there's an impression of pants, but there's no actual pants. And the back is... God, they've done one of those unrealistic backs where it's like... what's it called? Very, very hard to really... And yes, those are supposed to be off-center. Voila! Oh, and there's this hanging bit that they've got here. And that's what it would look like if I was paying more attention to the actual form itself. And it's probably a good idea to pay attention to the form. Pardon me. Now, for the head, I'm not even gonna show you because it's so many overlapping pieces of hair. I'm not even sure exactly what's going on there. But it is very cool. I'm gonna take a quick 5 minutes stop, but in a stretch because I'm sore. Yeah. Oh god. Oh. I feel like every bone in my body cracked. All I can say, but this is a much more effective form of what's the word of rendering than what I was doing. Oh, I'm gonna grab some water. Be back in a second.
Open wide, hear the song of gentle morning for the lost and lonesome bride. On the hill and in the valley, where the weeping flowers hide, from the song of gentle morning for the lost and lonesome bride. Now he roams through hill and valley, and the canyons open wide, singing songs of gentle morning for his lost and lonesome bride, for his lost and lonesome bride.
Hello, I'm back. Oh. Not too sure. I continue doing more rendering, which isn't the worst idea, frankly. But I also like the idea of doing something different. So, I don't want to use that. Let's... Hmm. Nah, not feeling that one. Maybe... How does a frog look? Frog's like... No, not really what a frog looks like. What does a frog look like? Hmm. The problem with making characters is that it's a very difficult problem. I know. Groundbreaking, isn't it? It's more that's very creatively taxing. And I generally have to go in with a much better idea of what I'm doing. I'm not really at the stage where I could do something like EO58 where he's just like... where he's doing all sorts of shit like, oh, let's... You know... You know, he's pulling out one of these... Of course, he's doing much cleaner lines as well. He's like... It is. You know... Ignore the fact that I don't like doing legs. And then he's, you know, pulling out one of these. And he always does this. And then he'll, like, work on it later. And he'll be like, oh, and then... Or he'll be like... And then he'll pull out one of these. He'll zoom in a bit. And he'll be like, let me, And then he'll... It should be mentioned that obviously he would also look good while also doing this somehow. Like, it would be like... I don't know how he does it. Then he'd put up these, and then put that fucking that shoulder. Then it'd be like fucking this stuff. Oh, don't forget the eyebrows, and of course because it's actually hair, it starts at like this point, then it goes down. Ignore the fact that this hair is also physically impossible, I believe, like without like doing random... What's the word? Like, it's just physically impossible to have this hair, I believe. You need extensions. Then get that fucking this. And you have them in some like really difficult pose as well, where like, what they're. And then their shoulders would be about here, and then they'd be like. Or, you know what? Stress that he wouldn't even do it something like their legs here. He would make it so like it's just straight up. Just in that perspective. Because, you know, he's just built like that. Am I jealous? Yes, I'm very jealous. Incredibly. I want to be able to do that, man. Oh, and don't forget the fact that the hair would be in correct place entirely. I'm gonna continue working on my learning to do these things. I can work on characters later, when I am halfway competent at doing anything. Anyways, composition is generally a lot more important than characters. Water. There's no way that is not AI. As I have the single most perfect looking burger I've ever seen, or it's AI. I'm ignoring it. Obviously not going to use it as a reference, you know. I'm not too sure what I want to do. Ooh, shrimp. I like a shrimp. Let's do the shrimp. It's shrimple, really. Look at this shrimp. And then you go like this. And you go. Well, I'll pull one of these. Oh, look at this shrimp. Look at them. Look at him come to life. You know, when I did arts at school, they were like, no, you shouldn't, you know, plan it out. And every time I didn't plan it out, everything would turn out like absolute crap. Just terrible. God awful. Oh my god, look at him! Look at him! Look at him go. How many legs does the shrimp have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? 5 on each side? Cool. The more you know. Oh, it's more like... And then he's got like one of these coming out. And then it's just got one of these hanging about. Now don't forget, he's a shrimp, so he's got one of these long bits. What do they do? What are they for? I don't know. Do you? Who knows? I'm in a good mood after that one. So often I finish a piece and I'm like, I'm in such a terrible mood. And it didn't turn out even halfway decent. But that one did, and I'm happy. I'm happy because of it. Though your happiness should probably not be dictated by if you enjoy what you make. As an artist, at least in my experience so far, you almost never do. Remember, it's like a shell, so it's actually overdoing it. 3. And then you just go in there. There you go. Go under. There we go. That's a little better, I think. Look at this shrimp come to life. And then remember, this is a shell as well. Does he have like little arms that come up? Oh my god! Look at him! It's beautiful. What is that doing? Oh yeah. He's got like a. It is. It's kind of a reddish. There we go. Look at him. I love him. A little darker here. That is a really kind of like a faint reflective kind of bats. Not even sure what this is, so we're gonna wing it to a certain degree. There we're gonna put a bit of red. And he needs a bit of soul in his eye. I feel so much joy. Oh. This is what it's all about, you know? This is what it's all about. Look at him. Okay, one part of him may be better than the other, but we love him all the same. I should probably just render this bit out a little bit more. See a little arms. My god, he's got skinny arms. Look at those. Look at them skinny arms. Really. It's really shrimple, my good sir. My good Watson. Ah. Look at them with their 5 arms. Oh, so that's how a frog looks. These frogs are pulling poses. Pardon me. Dinner's still making its way through my system. Oh. I wonder. I don't know what I want to do. I'm enjoying my beautiful collection of things. Today's much better, but I think rendering's a lot easier than I was giving it credit for. I think I was so focused on doing it the way other people do it, which is up here, that I kind of disregarded that I can do it my own way as well. Because this is so much easier for me to think about and do and function as I do it. How does he do it? Seriously, how does he do it? I have no idea. Mm. I don't know. I want to do something else, obviously. I've only been at it for like an hour and 20. And, you know, it's fun to do things. But sometimes I get stuck with the deciding what I want to do. I believe I'm doing more art tomorrow, aren't I? Oh, good. I should have come into today with a little more plans. Oof. I gotta learn how to sew. That's what I really gotta learn. That's the true end goal. I think. Probably. For me, it is. I want to make so many pieces of garments. I want to make shit. On the topic of making things, but I do actually want to make something. All this study is fun, at least for me. But it disregards the fact that I want to make things. So I should try and make something. I'm not too sure what, but my stream delay like 5 or so seconds? Probably. Turn down the music a bit. Oh. I'm not too sure what I should do. I don't know. I'm kind of stuck. I'm actually very stuck. That's this. I think that I'll come back to this problem tomorrow with a better idea of what I want to do. Because I'm not too sure how much I'm going to get out of continuing going at it like this in a specific way. This has been a good day, but I liked it. It was good. It was good. So I'm going to say bye. Hope you enjoyed that night.